G'day everyone, you are watching the Space Slugs. We're coming to you live with a round 4 match of the current TTS League. Joining me in the booth today is Tirith, or Jeff. Jeff, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks again, mate. I'm excited to be here. These are two of my very close friends playing here, so it's going to be
Yeah,
great to watch.
absolutely. So, yeah, this is going to be, a special matchup because these are both, the two main components of the Red Mandos podcast. So it's going to be very exciting to see them battle it out for hopefully what will become the undefeated thus far in the bracket.
Yes, they're both on 3-0. Very good.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's jump in and see what we're playing. So did you want to take us through Unlucky Gamer's roster here? I'll hover over the top of it.
Yes, a lucky gamer tends to stick to this combo in all these serious games. It's clones. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi with Rex and the clone commandos with Mace Windu and his squad box with Pons and the ARF troopers. He's had a lot of success. He won the weekend tournament with this and he goes quite strongly with it. He's really got it comfortably under his belt. He knows all the triggers. He doesn't miss anything. So pretty strong. Pretty strong.
Yeah, definitely. I was talking to Unlucky Gamer, or Matt, today. He's got an 83% win rate with this roster, so it's tried and true for him. So we've got a lot of out of activation movement with Rex, with Obi-Wan. Sorry, or I guess technically with Obi-Wan as well because of the hunkers, with Mace Windu, with Pons. A lot of coordinated fire goodness. So yeah, just tried and true and a solid roster. Winter, on the other hand, is trying something that's definitely not, tried and true in practice. We're actually trying for the first time Moff Gideon on the stream, so that's going to be really, really cool. So he essentially comes in as another Galactic Empire primary unit. He's got some Count Dooku-esque out of activation movement with his tactical ability. He's got a further reposition ability with Long Live the Empire. He has a quasi sort of melee attack buff with You Have Something That I Want, and he's got an inbuilt sort of inquisitorial mandate ability as well. So really, really cool to see him alongside the Stormtroopers, Vader 1, or Darth Vader Jedi Hunter, and Obi-Wan Kenobi out of hiding. So what do you think of that roster? That seems really cool.
I really like it. It's really funny because we were just discussing this, doing a Red Mando podcast, and noticed he swapped the Stormtroopers with Moff and the fifth brother. Because I found out, I had one game today, and I found out that the fifth brother with Moff Gideon, it's a bit of redundancy having two Inquisitorial Mandate people on the same side of the board. So he's done that. I'm really happy. I like to say, I wish he had Vader 2, but Vader 1 still will work quite well. I'm excited to see Moff Gideon go. I think he's got a lot to offer. It's going to be interesting to see how he works.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a smart idea moving the Inquisitorial Mandate-esque abilities out on each side, very similarly to how you'd have one Diceless Displacer in each of your squads in your strike team, so you wouldn't put all of your Django and Maul together. You might spread it across, so it makes sense.
Yeah. The interesting point as well is, of course, Moff Gideon's... which one is it? I assume that I know everything. You've got to pay an extra force to put something in reserve. It's going to screw a bit with the Ben Kenobi jump that Matt's got, that Unlucky Gamer's got. Because I think that's a really strong ability. That late game, that extra force.
I agree.
It's going to put people in a really rough position.
Yeah, especially strike teams that are really hanging on or sort of skirting the fine line between their force economy. With Anakin, for example, or maybe Ewoks, that could be backbreaking, really.
Yeah, I think not so bad with Mace because it's not that force hungry. Kenobi doesn't need much. Mace doesn't need it, and he does replenish. It might be as effective, but you never know. Get a couple of wounds there, and all the things have to spend. They spend extra force to do their maneuvers, and it could hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're playing on Sabotage Showdown here, which I think will be good with all the out of activation movement that Moff Gideon can provide. And we've actually got Unlucky Gamer being the first player here. He won the first player roll off, so that will be really interesting to see. If you just had to go off and analyze this off the cuff, who would you give your advantage to?
Knowing the players and knowing the experience, I think the advantage is to Matt just because of his more experience playing this force. But on the other hand, one thing that the clones love shaking the hunkers and getting back on points and those kind of things. but if they get murdered, that's pointless most of the time anyway. And Vader
Yep.
won, that's what he does. So if it was a complete even field, you might be favouring Winter slightly, but obviously player experience will come into it as well.
Yeah,
Sitting on the
absolutely. Well, it's
fence, but
really,
fit in the fence, yeah.
yeah, it's going to be really cool. I think actually, I know this sounds a little odd, but Inquisitors sort of had a, chat. You can disagree with me if you guys want to chime in, but I think that Inquisitors actually have a relatively decent matchup into clones, just because they're really able to threaten the damage output. And the Inquisitorial Mandate can really hurt the clones as well, because they can shove one of the clones off or maybe force repulse them off and then just stand there. And because the clones are quite fragile, that sort of plays into the Inquisitorial sort of ideal of just smacking them. Mace complicates that a little bit, but it is what it is. So we've just kicked off the game. Of course, the objective is facing towards Matt, or Unlucky Gamer, and this is the objective that we've drawn. So set the charges. Shatterpoint gives people dashes. So we've had the first activation being Commander Rex, or Captain Rex, I should say, and we'll have to see who we decide to move. It looks like we've decided to move Rex himself, taking that ingress point just here. So guys, if you've just tuned in, just while the players get settled in and get rid of the nerves and all that kind of stuff, I hope you're enjoying it. You are watching the the round 4 match of the current league. If you'd like to have a look at all of our content or support us in any way that you'd like, check out our Patreon. I'm just putting the link into the chat at the moment. I'm not sure if I've got that right, but I hope you're enjoying it. Let us know. We favor a fairly interactive sort of chat and stream here. So yeah, let us know how you're finding it. Thank you, Glyn93, for the follow. Really appreciate it, and hope you guys enjoy the stream. So, what do you make of the Rex activation here? Would you have rather put that into Mace, for example, Jeff?
Yeah, he gave it to himself, did he? Yeah, I would have put it on the Mace, because he still would have got there anyway, right? He would have dashed there. He still would have got there. I would have put Mace. I mean, I think Rex is the best draw you can have, basically, early on. But I would have put Mace forward for sure. Get him up there.
Just to get him up. I mean, I guess you got a lot of redundancy. You can have it with Pons or anything like that as well, so that's pretty decent. And three hunkers on the old on the old Rex isn't anything to sneeze at either, is it?
No, it's not. But on that side, he's got 2 guys who are just going to do melee anyway. But yeah, it is. Actually, he won't lose them. But yeah, it's a good start. What did he draw? Is he drawn? No, he's still choosing his sides.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, we've had a good start. We've scored 3 and we've pulled Vader. Interesting. I think he just goes straight to reserve. I don't think you need to muck around with that or worry too much about it. What do you reckon?
Agree. Here's my thing. If it was Vader 2, you'd use him because you'd put him back in anyway. But now he's got the Stormtrooper side.
That's the beautiful thing about Vader 2, isn't it? I know you and I were talking about us, the differences between Vader 1 and Vader 2 before the stream started. I think Gideon just really goes well with Vader 2.
Yeah. So she's not going to get a point here because it's the Stormtrooper Sergeant who might do a couple of damage. A bit of damage to Rex, but not too much with 3 hunkers, you can imagine, right?
Yeah, exactly. So what he'll be able to do is just move one of the other characters, but yeah, unfortunately, Stormtrooper Sergeant being on the other side is going to put him on the back foot for sure. So I've got Desert Spiral in the chat laughing about the fact that we're going straight into Moff Gideon and saying that it's such a hard lock into Kenobi. By hard lock, do you mean it's a bad matchup, a good matchup? What are we saying? You mean just because of Inquisitorial Mandate?
I think he means it's a good lock because with Obi likes to go in reserve and it'll take an extra force to do it. I think that's what he's saying. Let's see. I want to see his shot. Rex is going to get 9 defense dice in this one.
Yeah, very true. And Glyn93 raises a good point. Speaking from last night's round 4 game, Winter could have gone with Vader and just gone for the 1 shot on Rex. That's very true. We could have just gone and eliminated that threat. If
he could have got there, I probably would have done that.
I think he can with the climb and all that kind of stuff and the Vader's Fury, etc. So he might be on the back foot here, but we'll see what the next draw is for Unlucky Gamer. As soon as these clones sort of get set in and get engaged with Mace Windu and stuff like that. They
Yeah.
can be pretty hard to dislodge.
So he used the Stormtrooper Sergeant to move Fifth Brother up, which is interesting.
Yeah, I think that's fairly standard. He didn't
Yeah,
have another sort of good target. Unfortunately, the Stormtrooper Sergeant can't target himself, so there is that.
yeah.
What do we got here? Yeah, we're having a
Trying to
crack
get
into
him
the
for
old.
5. And
Yeah,
9 defense
which one?
dice. I've never seen that many defense dice before, I don't think.
Nothing to sneeze at, is it?
Could probably roll a handful of crits here, though. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean the Stormtrooper Sergeant has some fantastic sort of expertise. However, with three hunker tokens, I mean, knowledge and defense is just going to go off, so it's going to be very good,
Oh,
and that's not a great roll.
misses.
Yeah,
Oh, he's going to get some through, I think.
yeah. So it's going to be 4 blocks. For 4, so it's going to be 2 crits and 1 pin that go through. So going to be 2 damage, a heal, maybe an expose as well, because the shove won't do anything, as of course Rex is steadfast with hunkers. So there you go.
So would he spend the hunkers here? You're a lone player. Would you spend it, Tom, to shake off these stuff or keep the hunkers on?
I think I probably do, to be honest. I mean, like, you know that you're going to come
Expose.
in, but he doesn't do it. I mean, expose you don't like. You really don't like expose at all. So I'd get rid of that. Maybe Unlucky Game is just deciding that it doesn't really matter. Vader's going to come in and chop Rex up anyway. But, you know, if Vader rolls poorly on those results, then, you know, you might not get
Yeah.
it. So I think I would prefer to just get rid of the hunkers and heal the damage.
Yeah, I don't like the exposed. We just saw the first Kenobi pull and 2 force to go on reserve. There you go.
Yeah, so
So
that's a really interesting one into Moff Gideon. So that is, of course, the trigger that you were talking about earlier, Jeff. That's assume that I know everything. When an opposing player would spend force to place a unit's order card in reserve, they must spend 1 additional force. So, as you've said, it's sort of offset by the fact that we've got Jedi Master Mace Windu in the deck.
got him on Jedi Master side as well, so the Shatterpoint comes up. But he's going to go 4 points up here.
Yes, yep, it's a good lead to have for sure.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, so we've had Desert Spiral in the chat just say 3 hunkers seems like the best moment to spend them, and he can even block the ladder maybe. Yeah, so what I would have done is just gotten rid of the 3 hunkers, cleared the expose and the 2 damage, and then had the dash off of knowledge and defense clear my pin, and then we could have just been basically back to full health Rex. And that, you know, it is I don't want to say it's easy for Vader to get the one shot, but you know, there's a chance that he doesn't. So that would be
and now
Vader's downfall.
Even Fifth Brother can jump up and have a chance of killing him. When he was a 9, he wouldn't have the chance to do that, right?
Exactly.
Now,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because,
Yeah.
of course, Fifth Brother does max out at 7 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yeah.
8 damage, I guess you could say, with the expertise. But, yeah.
He'll cut and he'll expose. There will very good chance of doing it.
Definitely.
But he's going to have a big lead here.
Yeah, a
He's
4
gonna
points are hard to come by or come back from.
Unless-
Glenn93 just said, did Obi use patience there or just a reserve? So that was just a pure reserve. We didn't have anything else in the deck.
I'm missing something here. Shouldn't Winter have got a momentum token when he only scored that 2 points? Yeah, he didn't. He forgot to give himself a momentum.
From
'Cause,
what, sorry?
When Winter scored his 2.
Yep. That was the first
Didn't
scoring
do it.
round. So no
Oh,
momentum.
right, okay.
Yep.
Sorry, there you go.
It's all good. And we've
Too much going
drawn Moff Gideon. So this is essentially what we're triggering right now is Smug Determination. So choosing a Galactic Empire character within range 4, each character in Moff Gideon's unit, and then the chosen character may dash. So that's a very Dooku or Grand Inquisitor-esque ability. It's really nice that the fact that it works on any Galactic Empire character, so you can even use it on Vader or something similar, so that's fantastic. And we'll have to see if we use Long Live the Empire here. I don't know if it's too early to trigger that. What do you reckon, Jeff?
It's hard because it's not really any point to win from it. I'm just looking. Yeah, the Fifth Brother, it's a shame he's not higher up, but he can't do anything about it.
Yeah, the
Yeah, he
elevations look
might actually.
fantastic.
He might bring another stormtrooper to that ladder
Yeah, for a
because
bit
then
of
Moff Gideon
damage.
only has to. If Moff Gideon only has to shove one off, then he wins it anyway because he's got the he counts as Inquisitorial
Yeah, I guess
Mandate
he's
as
got his
well,
own
right?
inquisitorial mandate, which is good.
He's the first Moff probably being streamed in the world, I'd say. What do you
Hopefully,
reckon, Tom?
hopefully. That's what we
Hasn't
do here
been
at the
released.
Slugs. Get there early
Yeah.
and quick. So that's a great roll from the old Moff Gideon as well. The first dice roll of Moff Gideon on the planet, and we've got 4 crits and 4 strikes going through. So that's a really good roll. So it's going to be 5 going through no matter what on the
So
old dark saber.
he cut for 3 extra, and he also gets the extra from his ability as well. So,
Yeah,
geez, that's a lot of 4 extra dice, right?
absolutely. Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? So he's got some. Does he have some heals? He doesn't have any heals on his chart. He might have them on the other side. But yeah, he's basically just confirmed the one shot there onto the ARF troopers. And if he didn't have the one shot, I think what you just said, Jeff, is really valid. He could have triggered Long Live the Empire to bring one of the stormtroopers up on the point, and then because there's a tie, he would have won it with "You have something I want." So that could have been really, really, really good.
That was the first Moss attack. Was pretty strong.
Yeah,
He has
definitely.
got heals on the other side. Actually, he has got a path that's got healing.
Okay, very cool. So that can do some balancing out with the old Vader as well.
Yeah, it's a 2 heal as well. Yeah, it's funny. The other side's got 3 different trees. I haven't looked at them. It's really, for me, they're so evenly matched. It's hard to decide which side to use for him.
Yeah. It
Both
depends on
sides
if you're
are-
thinking that you're going to have more melee attacks coming in or more ranged attacks coming in. I think the defensive statistics are exactly the same.
Yep. Except for the 4th expertise, it's a minor difference there. But yeah,
Yeah. And this is where the getting rid of the hunker tokens would have been really good to heal Rex up, because now Unlucky Game has got a fantastic opportunity to put more bodies onto the point. So if you've got a fully healthy Rex, and of course Fifth Brother doesn't have the opportunity to get the one shot, then you're going to make it pretty difficult for the odd Fifth Brother to get through these clone commandos as well, with a whole bunch of hunkers and healing potential and scale, etc. So yeah, I think I hope that it doesn't come back to bite Unlucky Gamer, but it potentially might.
yeah, he's got a lot of experience, and it seems like the, something you let go there that he could have done.
He's streaming on the slugs now, though, mate. It's high caliber. It's high stress.
It is. He might have been. I knowing Matt, he might have been a bit rocked by the poor defensive dice when he rolled 9 dice, and he just didn't want to. That could have happened as well.
Yeah, for sure. So Glyn93 just says in the chat, important to note that Moff's ability doesn't work against patience. So along with Windu's Force Refresh, this might be the only Republic strike team that can handle the extra Force expense. So yeah, interesting point there. And then Desert Spiral said the first time you reserve a card, you still pay the tax. Obi rotating in patience has always been free. So yeah, absolutely there. I think it still pays the tax, still puts a bit of pressure on for the 2 Force initially for a reserve. So not entirely painless, but yeah.
Well, he's got 2 Force left, but he's going to replenish when Mace gets. But the ARFs being dead's going to hurt because every expo is going to cost a Force already, and that's early. It's bad when you lose the ARFs early.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
You want to expose nearly every time if you can, right?
Yeah.
So he's got Vader down there. The struggle still is in Unlucky Gamer's favour, I think, because now he's got bodies on that left point, and that right point isn't that solid. Unlucky Gamer can take it back.
He can. Yep. I mean, we do have to be careful. We have to be able to displace Moff Gideon off the point, right? Because we can't just get him off from putting one body on there. We have to get Mace or Pons to actually shove him off the point. So, yeah, it's going to be
Mace
interesting.
get there with a dash and an advance. It's going to be tight. I don't know if he can get there.
Yeah, I don't know if he does. I mean, there is a ladder. I'll zoom in on the ladder for the audience, but that's probably why I might have been tempted to move with Rex at the beginning there and just make Mace Windu really nice and tanky. But I think with a dash and then an advance, he should be able to make it up there, and he can just smack into the back here of Moff Gideon and give him an expose and all that kind of stuff because you've got all the abilities that you need.
Interesting thing here, if Winter pulls Shatterpoint, I'd do Moff because he can basically move Fifth Brother to the Ben Kenobi point and steal it.
No, I completely agree.
That's where you get the full, to bypass that middle one, that's too hard to take.
Yeah, and we've seen a good little block here from from Unlucky Gamer, just making it really difficult for, say, Fifth Brother or Vader to get up onto that point. But Fifth Brother could jump up there and then use Force Repulse or something similar. So there are a few outs for Winter for sure. And here's the Shatterpoint that you were just talking about, Jeff. Yeah.
I've got no inside information about the next cards. I'm just clarifying that.
Fair enough. We'll have to take it on face value there, Jeff.
So what's he going to do? He's thinking about it.
Yeah. While he's thinking about it, guys, I'm not sure what the issues were happening at the beginning, but my links aren't working, so I'll have to figure that out. But look, if you guys are enjoying what you're seeing, I've just put the old Patreon into the chat. If you're really enjoying what you're seeing and you love the Space Slugs content, we'd really appreciate you joining the Patreon. And, that also gives you a link to our podcast and our video content as well. So you can check out everything from there. Duravar, you've just asked in the chat what the Shatterpoint benefit is. It is Shatterpoint for a dash. So each character in the unit may dash, and we have used it on the Fifth Brother. I do think that's probably a good idea, just because we can now burn 2 Force for Force Repulse for free, and have a crack into Rex as well, and just jettison these clone commandos from the atmosphere. So I think you probably just use Force Repulse straight away, right? Do you reckon, Jeff, or would you attack first?
It's well, either way, he's got the point. He pushes them off. He's got it regardless if he kills Rex or not, isn't he?
Yeah, I just worry about the attack order, just because if you muck it up, then knowledge and defense can really give you a hard time.
Yeah, I'd attack first then, just in case.
Yep. So we've said Glyn 93 attack first to try and get 4 for free, and I think we are attacking into Rex here.
He's cut for 2, so he's got a lot of dice, and Rex is exposed, so it's going to be a dead Rex.
Ooh, we actually might be going into the Clone Commandos here, because we've only rolled 5, which they would have with a Hunker, and Rex would have 6 with a Hunker. So there you go. So that's going to be 2 blocks, and that's going to be a full tree for the old Fifth Brother. So that's a 1-shot on the Clone Commandos.
Wow, he's wounded 2 of his supports early.
Yeah,
and he steals that. And he steals that because of the Inquisitorial Mandate.
Big
and
news.
He saves his force. And he saved his force.
And we've flipped it over. Yeah, we've flipped it over from 4 points being scored for Unlucky Gamer to 4 points being scored for WinterAU here. What do you reckon, Jeff? Nerf Moff Gideon?
No, I love him. I actually wouldn't push the bodies off the board here because...
Yeah, no, I agree.
They're blocking landing space.
That being said, knowledge and defense, if Unlucky Gamer wanted to free up space, he could just shirk the Hunkers and do it anyway. So it's not totally unreasonable. In fact, I think that actually was Unlucky Gamer's move. Yeah, he just got rid of the Hunker token to move himself off the point. So just making room for Obi-Wan Kenobi or something similar. I think that's a good move.
Okay, yeah. Geez, that's a big turnaround.
Yeah, so we've had Duravar just say in the chat, this is looking like a rough game for Unlucky all of a sudden. Force economy is going to suck, especially with, Moff Gideon's assume that I know everything. That's going to be pretty brutal.
Yeah. And it's hardly any damage taken by Winter. The only damage he's taken is self-inflicted. For the Vader.
Very true.
What a combo. Moff Vader 1 is making its mark really early.
Yeah, it's pretty savage, isn't it? So we're going to have Obi-Wan thinking about it here. So Rusty just comes in and saying, Unlucky Gamer is gone hard from here. So he's called it. It's over.
Never say never.
Absolutely. I think Obi-2 is going to make it really hard in the future rounds. Once the board starts becoming a little bit narrow, the fact that we've had such an attrition advantage for Winter already is going to make it a little bit difficult. But we're measuring here an Obi-Wan Kenobi shot, so this is going to be really interesting. I'm not sure if he's decided to go for it. But I think, if anyone is going to displace Fifth Brother from a point, it's probably going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. So either or. I mean, if you get Obi, you're happy. If you get Mace or Shatterpoint, you're probably happy because you can displace Moff and start trying to get your foot back in the door.
I don't think Vader can get to that point where the Fifth Brother is. He has to. He hasn't got. I know he's got a lot of movement. He can advance. Because that's what he put the plane commando down there. That's a very good move. That stops Vader getting to that ingress point. That's what it's done.
Yeah, correct.
Very
so that's
good.
a really good use of knowledge and defense there. So just for everyone's context, what Jeff just said is Unlucky Gamer has gotten rid of his hunker token and just blocked up this ingress point here. I don't think it completely stops Vader. He's still going to be able to use Vader's Fury and then a climb action to get up, but it really depends on where where Obi-Wan Kenobi ends up as well. So I mean, this is going to stop him.
Yeah, I don't think he makes it with an advance and a climb either.
Yeah, this is going to stop him regardless. So, yep.
Yeah. And keeping Vader out is good.
Keeping Vader out is very good. I mean, he's left his home objective undefended, so Vader could just swoop in there, for example.
Yep.
But, yeah. Do you pay the Force here for a damage into Fifth Brother or not?
I think you want to kill him. Geez, what's he got left? He's still got 3 cards left. No, he can't do it. Shatterpoint will replenish too.
Yeah. Ooh, not a great roll though.
Not rolling well at all. That's
so we've got 5 into 3. So only 2. Yeah, only 2 successes going through there, unfortunately, for the old Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You get 5 misses out of 10 dice. That's
pretty unlucky. I mean, his name is Unlucky Gamer, so I guess he expects it, right?
I tried to get him to change his name. To be honest, I tried to get him to call himself Spartacus or something more positive and aggressive. But he didn't want to.
Hasn't worked?
No, he didn't want it. He likes it. He embraces it.
Fair enough.
I think it's fair to say we can't hear his language right now.
Yeah, so unfortunately that's going to be probably struggle over for Unlucky Gamer. I mean, he only scores 2. Vader has the opportunity to go and take the back point. There's quite a few ways that this could spiral out of control, unfortunately.
He got 3, Tom. He did take that back because Rex is still alive, remember? So we've got Rex and Kenobi up there.
Sorry, yes. I keep thinking that Rex was wounded, but he attacked Winter attacked the clone commandos, yep.
They've got the stormtroopers here. They're probably going to be a dead activation, which is a good thing for Unlucky Gamer. I mean, they might shoot pawns possibly, but otherwise it's a bit of a dead activation here. So I suppose they can consolidate the point. Sure.
I think, consolidating the point is absolutely awesome. If they can get range 5 on Pons, that'd be fantastic just to put a pin on him. They might even get the cheeky little wound, potentially, just because they can stack all those conditions up. Alternatively, they could also just do a combat action and try and heal Moff Gideon as well. I know that Duralvar in the chat was saying before that getting Moff Gideon off a particular point isn't going to be difficult, just because he's so fragile and his defensive expertise is not great. But if you can heal him up and maybe block his push routes, that'll be a really good way to do it.
Yeah. Having 2 troopers up here, that's 3.
Yeah. Mace won't be able to do anything about that.
Yeah, I don't know how Gamer gets out of this. And both his back points are going to be free at the moment, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think the struggles, I wouldn't say gone, but close to.
But I mean, Mace, things start narrowing in. Mace gets a little bit better, but his natural sort of predator, I think, Mace is probably Obi-2, Jedi out of hiding. So that could be problematic late game. We'll have to see how Unlucky Gamer manages it. Just for the audience, I'm just going to zoom in underneath here because we've got one of the stormtroopers coming underneath. So you can see we've got a stormtrooper up on the platform next to Moff Gideon, and then another one underneath next to the little speeder car. And they're ready to shoot into Commander Pons.
If he kills Pons here, are they both in range? The top one
They're both in range, I believe, yep. So we're going to get extra dice from the Stormtrooper Sergeant's ability as well. And I'm not sure if they've taken a damage for a focus, but I think they're just rolling their natural dice. So Pons is going to block 3, which is pretty good.
He took a damage,
so he's focused, yeah. So we've got a crit going through, a damage going through, and a pin going through, and one more. So that's a decent roll. So it's going to be 2 damage, a pin. Yeah, 2 damage and a pin. I mean, that's not terrible.
It's strain.
Oh, and a strain and a damage. Yeah, sorry, he got 2 successes. Yep, and we'll hopefully be able to see the cheeky little heals coming through next as well. And this is going to be the second shot.
It's probably going to kill him here. And he's strained and pinned anyway. He can't move.
No, he can't do anything, yeah. Unfortunately, Pons, as soon as he got a pin condition on him, he starts struggling a lot, absolutely. Same roll for Unlucky Gamer. So 3 blocks going to be done, but 2 successes going through there with the expertise as well, I think. Let me have a look. I'm not very familiar with the Stormtroopers, I'm sorry. So it's just going to be 1 crit and a pin going through. So 2 damage total. So not going to be able to wound him. But yeah, putting a lot of pressure on the Pons in the early game and really reinforcing that point. So pretty rough.
Mace can't do. I don't know what Mace does. He try to get there.
Yeah, I guess you can move Pons and Mace to at least clear the pin off of Pons. But this is where I think the initial move off of Rex would have been a lot better suited to go into Mace early game, so he could definitely get to the midline. Alternatively, though, you could still send Mace into range 2 of this little Stormtrooper underneath the bridge and just try and get the wound. You won't be able to take the point, but at least you'll be engaged. You might get the wound, etc. So we'll see what he ends up going.
I just noticed the expose has come off Rex. Did we miss something? Did he heal? Did he heal with Kenobi? Maybe he healed. Did he get a heal on Kenobi's chart?
No, when the clone commandos gained a hunker, they probably would have healed the expose off of Rex.
So that was a good move. Okay, well that's okay. That's good. Yeah, look, he's there. He got up there. Who do you attack here? Do you attack the troopers? I'm not sure. He could kill the troopers, right?
Yeah, I think you kill the troopers, or potentially you probably go for the troopers just because they. No, he's going for Moff Gideon.
And he exposed him. Did he spend a force to expose? I think he did.
Okay.
That's it.
Ooh, not a great roll.
Why was he on that side? Why didn't he jump to the other side? That's weird.
Well, because he wants to refresh force when he pulls the Shatterpoint. So he stayed in Jedi Master. So it's only going to be 1 shove, which is good. Not going to be able to take the point off of him, but it will at least displace Moff Gideon and then maybe open Mace Window for a Varpard attack into the Stormtroopers next turn. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and he could take it with the Shatterpoint. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. If it's not too late, though, we'll see. And this is really bad for Unlucky Gamer. Pulling OB2 here is really good. It'll just be able to reposition himself and then come up on the point, or at least be within range 3, maybe even take the center, unless you worry about getting too much momentum.
Move 5th brother, mate, to take that point back there. That's what I do.
True.
There you go.
There you go.
And just move OB up there, sit underneath there, and then Mace can't kill the troopers because he just says no.
Yep.
So
that's the horrible thing about the OB2.
You should probably take cover first, and then maybe you might even get to the ladder. I definitely move. Yeah, 5th brother. That's strong right there.
That is strong. That's very strong.
You can't take that back off him. And he's still got Vader sitting there in the bank waiting to kill stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty horrifying.
Take cover, and then he might get to the ladder. Winter's not sick. He's playing top notch at the moment. Does he get to the ladder here?
I don't think he does. I'd be tempted to just leave him on the back point there. Now he's sort of evacuated his own point. You could definitely get within range 3 of this Stormtrooper and still, I think, take the back point. So Mace would be able to take it off you anyway. Yeah. Yeah,
because now when he says no, he's going to attack Kenobi.
Exactly. He's got a target. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Keep him on the ground. And like I said, I try to get him as center as possible. I don't even have to climb. you get him as more because it's getting ready for the next struggle. If he can be protecting the middle point as well. So now that's what it is. What's he going to do? Yeah, it has to be Mace, I guess. Well, Mace can walk to the back point and steal that.
That's what I was
I
just
guess.
going to say. Maybe you just come down, you use his own dash to get into range of Moff Gideon. You
Yep.
have a swing at Moff Gideon, then you just do a move onto the back point. Just at least you're taking points at that point, right?
Yeah, I'd go down exactly. You refresh 2 force, expose Moff, hit him again, and exactly then just walk to the point.
Yeah.
That,
How many
that's
cards does what else do we have in the bank for unlucky? We've got one more card. Is that Pons?
Pons, mate, Pons. Yeah,
What a terrible activation.
it's like having a relay and having your grandma getting the last leg of the relay instead of one of the first guys.
Slow and steady sometimes does not win the race, I guess.
He's not even going to be moving. He can't even shoot. Well, he's just going to heal and shoot. I guess that's what he'll do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he might be able to have a shot. I guess he could shoot back at. Yeah, exactly. He could shoot back at
It seems like an easy choice to go to Mace, but he might be already conceding and planning for the next one and not worrying about doing that. That's what might be going through his head at the moment. He might be thinking I should get Mace to the middle. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you just want to keep Mace engaged for next struggle, right? And you want to cover as many bases as you can. You'll have the choice of the objective layout. At the moment, though, I mean, Winter's sitting on your own back point, which is making it pretty difficult for you.
Yeah. I mean, I'd still do it because you get 3 points. You might win Moff Gideon, and then you get 2 momentums. And I know it gives a momentum to Winter, but then you're still in the game if he gets the 3. Because you get the and that back one's how safe, I guess. Vader can come and chop him up. You might be thinking that as well.
Vader doesn't have a great time into Mace Windu, though, especially without ARF troopers. So, Fifth Brother's not around to provide expose or anything like that. So, I mean, Mace is just going to make Vader bounce off of him, really. So...
we had a flaw. The plan of going down and hitting Moff is no good because he'll just say no with Kenobi.
Well, that's fine. I mean, you can do that, and then you just still walk onto the point and just make it almost impossible for Vader to take the point back off of you, right? So it's not terrible.
Yeah, it's true, and it takes him 2 force to do that, so it's not a waste of it.
So we've actually decided to go with the ARF troopers, though, which I think is super dangerous because then Vader just comes in and wounds them for the second time before struggle 2. So that's a difficult proposition to be put into. I'm not sure if I love that move. What do you reckon, Jeff?
No, I definitely don't like that move. I mean, they're damaged. People can't see it because he hasn't flicked it. They're going to get killed before the second struggle.
Yeah, and then you're basically forced into keeping them into reserve until struggle 3.
Yeah. So what is he doing here? He's still not stealing this point. I don't understand what the plan was. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, no, neither do I. He might be actually evacuating the point just to take his back point, but it's just too dangerous now that Vader's on the prowl. Like, as soon as these ARF troopers go forward and sort of stay in the midline, Vader can just come in and whack them and take their second wound. So, yeah, I wouldn't be doing that. I'd be measuring, but I'd feel far more confident in putting Mace Windu in there for sure.
Yeah, that's maybe it's easy when we're watching, I guess. But I think anything else would have been a better call. Rex even or Kenobi. Rex could have moved. Yeah, would have been Mace. Whatever. You get the 2 force back too with Mace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and who have we got? I mean, I know that you don't need force for Pons, but at least you get the force back and you can start doing expose or something similar. Yeah. So we're doing a move with that ARF trooper off the point.
So maybe he's going to try to kill the stormtroopers.
You have to think about Vader, though, right?
Yeah, that's why I hope he's coming back.
I hope he's not going to that point. Just maybe secure the center point. Be within range 2 as far as over towards the screen as possible, and just make sure that Vader can't get up and have a thwack at you. I know Vader will still be able to throw the lightsaber, but you might not actually be able to melee him, which is where you get into trouble. So we've just had an OB2 activation trigger to prevent the attack. And I'm not sure if the other ARF trooper decided to move or not. Oh, the Shatterpoint. I'm so sorry. So they've used Shatterpoint and then everyone gets to dash. So they haven't actually done an action yet. So that's fine. I'm not sure who they're attacking into, but we've rolled 5 dice. I'm assuming it's into one of the stormtroopers. It might be Moff as well. Whatever it is, it's going to be blocked. Yep. And now we've got the second ARF trooper coming in. Again, I'm not entirely sure who we're shooting into, but we'll find out in a moment. I think it's Moff. Not good rolls.
He has been pretty unlucky. His namesake.
His namesake is coming true. Yeah, that's been pretty shocking.
Like, it's been 50% misses, and this is even higher than 50% this roll.
Yeah, not good at all.
Which is
not good at all. But he is going for this move action. Yeah, I don't like this. Do not like this. That's a dead ARF. Yep.
Dead unit.
I would have kept him on the center line. You know, maybe around here next to the barrels, just to make sure that Vader can't have a crack at you. You can still throw the lightsaber. Yeah, I think it does. Yep.
They give them a momentum for killing and
1, 2,
well, same.
3. Yeah, I mean that's it. Easy Vader activation, and you'd have to flub this pretty hard to not kill these ARF troopers with Vader. But you know, you're going to get Moff Gideon's buff, and then you'll probably cut yourself for some extra dice as well with Vader. So you're going to roll 4 extra dice with Vader too, and you're probably going to be wounding these ARF troopers. So that's
they normally die to. Yeah, they normally die to a lot less than that.
They do. They normally die to a stiff breeze, I've heard. So I'm just preemptively...
How many dice is he getting? What, 12? What's he getting?
Yeah, I think it is. 11. 11 and 2 damage.
11. No, he's flipping. He's looking at... Just go for the damage.
Don't flip. Don't flip.
Just stay on the 7.
Yeah, just go Dark Rage. What did he start in? Do you guys know?
I don't know. We've flipped it 15 times now.
You have to attack in Dark Rage. Yeah, he's on Dark Rage now, which is good.
Yeah.
And he's rolling 11. Yep. So 10 dice normally, and then 11 with the Moff Gideon buff as well. So 2 blocks and 4 blocks, but no, all the crits are going to get it done. So 5 crits going through, and that is going to be a ARF trooper wounded for the second time, and that is going to be this struggle as well. So let me just preemptively mark that up.
It's not actually the struggle yet, is it? He gets in.
Yeah, so he's going to get the momentum, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 points, I believe.
Oh, because he's got the one at the top of Canadian.
Exactly.
Yep.
Rusty comes back in and says, "Gone." Yeah. Okay, but that's okay. Look, you never know. Mace could come in clutch here and try and cement the lead in struggles number 2 and 3. Sabotage Showdown. You're never out for the count. Never out for the count.
That's right. He can't really do expose now. It's too forced to expose.
Too expensive.
So, Mace would have been a better call there.
I think so.
So, what is this?
They're jamming our comms, so it's going to be the remove 2 damage or 1 condition.
He's got to pick the one. Yeah, he's got to pick the one up on his left, on Unlucky Game's left, right?
Yeah. That gives... Let me just have a look.
Ooh, geez, it's not good either way.
At the moment, we've got no one on the top. I'll just rotate the camera so we can all have a look.
He knows Pond's coming, and Pond's is just going to get the bottom point.
Pons are just going to get the bottom.
But if he picks that one, then it's the right one, which Winter's got. And the far one, which nobody has got. So what has he done?
I feel like you don't want to go near Vader, right?
No. But can Kenobi dash from there to get that top left point? They haven't rolled priority yet.
No, they haven't. They haven't decided on the... Oh, they've decided on the Pons one, okay. So it's going to be Pons... Yeah, this is rough as well, because unless you get the wound on to the stormtroopers, you're actually sort of going to cement that point being Winters as well. So that's going to be 4 strikes. So that's not terrible into the stormtroopers, but that's going to be 4 blocks as well. So
he forgot the Pons trigger. He didn't move Kenobi. I thought Kenobi might have got to that point up the top left there. Did he use the Pons trigger? He hasn't.
He should have used the Pons trigger for sure. Yeah. So actually, I think you're right. I think he would have gotten there, and I don't think we've rolled priority either. So I think
I think he's a bit rocked.
Yeah, a bit rattled. Yeah.
which
It happens to the
to
best of us,
everybody.
for sure. Exactly. You rattled me pretty hard the other day, Jeff, didn't you? In our league game,
Um,
you shook me.
I, that was a things went my way. Won the first struggle, and then it went strong. That was my strong pairing that I normally take.
So we've
But I had to
had
get some revenge on the slugs because I went down to Cam at the tournament and he took third place from me.
yeah, true. Very true. Very true. So we've just had Glenn93 say that we didn't use the Pons trigger due to the strain, because he would have had to recover first. So the tactical ability would have wounded him.
Ah,
So fair enough. And I mean, look, that might be the momentum that Winter needs to sort of cement this struggle as well. We'll have to see what the priority is. I don't know if they've rolled for the priority yet. We'll
yeah,
have to see.
I haven't covered it.
Ooh, that's a rough roll. So it looks like that's all been blocked. I'm not sure who actually attacked there. That's Fifth Brother. Okay, so he's going to get one crit through, and he's gone into either Pons. He has to go into Pons. So I think that's just going to be a wounded Pons. Yep, because he's got one expertise. So no matter what, that's going to be a wound as well. Yep.
Don't know what's happening with priority here.
I think they've just rolled the
I mean,
priority, which is going to be the fail, which is the one that Fifth Brother is now standing on. So that's going to be a mighty 3 points for Winter and a momentum.
when you look at the wounds taken and that's really hard for unlucky game with it. Now they're rolling priority. Okay.
Yeah.
So the
So it's
first
gonna
one,
be-
we didn't see what it was. I assume they rolled it and just didn't mark it for the first one, but I didn't see it. The priority roll when unlucky gamer went.
No, neither did I. Neither did I. So looks like it's the diamond, which is going to be the one that Winter has already with Obi. With Obi-2 and the Stormtroopers. So he's not going to be able to get that back. I'm just going to ask if Pons was just wounded. Just give me 1 second.
He's not marked, is he?
No, he's not. And the momentum wasn't gained either. Pons was not wounded as Fifth was disarmed. Okay. Thank you, Glenn. You should be in the commentary box, keeping up with where we cannot.
Thank you.
Good, sir. All right, so this is going to be the expertise result. So the clone commanders have just been drawn, and they're sitting on the back point here. We might have a crack into Fifth Brother as well, just to see if we can take the point back. The Force is with us again, so we might actually be able to do, the move and potentially get the reposition on the Clone Commando tree. You'd have to get pretty deep, though, into Fifth Brother. But they actually can do a fair amount of damage as well, so it's not unlikely that, you could do a few things. You could do... But it looks like we're going to put both bodies on this point and maybe put some
I would have
pins
jumped
onto
down to
Darth
Fifth
Vader.
Brother's point. Yeah, I would have tried to get the Fifth Brother, or at least to get 2 points.
Exactly, yeah. Cement 2 points. Yeah, I would have done that as well. So what we could have done is just moved and then done a defensive maneuver, or maybe even wounded Fifth Brother, because the Clone Commanders, as I said, they actually do a fair bit of damage here.
Yeah.
And that's a great roll. Here you go.
Yeah, who's he shooting? Stormtrooper Sergeant.
I
Yeah,
think we're shooting
that
into
commander
Vader.
should.
Yeah, we're shooting into Vader. So we've just done 2 damage and a pin into Darth Vader, because it should be...
Okay.
They're going a bit quick here.
That was a bad roll. 3 expertise, but thank you.
It's okay. 3 expertise give them 2 crits, so not terrible.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah.
Not terrible. Yeah. Looks like that was into the Stormtrooper Sergeant as well. So that's just 2 crits and a pin. So basically the Stormtrooper Sergeant's activation is going to be confined to, maybe a recover and a move, or just a move to clear the pin and then a shoot. So not great for the Stormtrooper Sergeant. He's a bit of a Pons-esque character sometimes, but we'll have to see what happens. So it looks like... You go.
Bit of luck for unlucky gamer there, where the priority happens to be the one he's got 2 bodies on. But is it enough?
We'll have to see. I mean, yeah. We'll have to see how much he can keep this in the fight.
think he's just consolidating his points now. He's going to bring that trooper down the bottom to consolidate because fifth brother's almost dead. And actually going to kill Pons. He's going to finish off Pons with the Stormtrooper, I'd say.
Yeah. Only will be scoring 2, though, which could be a good little break for Unlucky Gamer. But because he won't be able to get over to the commando point. But I think I really would have tried to put the clone commando at the rear here onto the fifth brother point with a move and a defensive maneuver or something. I know it costs you a bit of force and you might be a little bit ambivalent about it, but just getting a second body over here would be pretty good, and maybe even getting the wound on fifth brother. You never know. So
I agree. It's an all at this stage. It's backs against the wall. You've got to go for stuff like that and just get it there and get the 2 points, because now you're just going to consolidate these points. He's up against it here.
He is absolutely. So we've just had the stormtroopers do some maneuvering, and then we're just going to have a shot probably into Pons. I mean, you've already got the point with fifth brother, but you could even drop a body on there if you'd like to, or just get the wound on Pons. So we'll see what happens. 7 dice with the stormtroopers. Thanks to the focus. Yep.
And blocking well, but the attack is pretty good too.
Yeah, so it's going to be 2 crits, a damage, and a pin going through.
Is that enough to kill him? It isn't
going to be enough. Yeah, it is. Yep.
Very Vader-esque. Look, this is the fourth wound coming through. And you look at Winter's, not 1 wound yet. And everybody looks relatively healthy, right? 4 damage
most of this
Vader,
damage is actually self-inflicted. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's primaries which can take it. You need a miracle to get out of this one.
I think so. But you never know. Obi-Wan Kenobi's faced worse, right?
So what's he shooting now with the other one?
He's shooting into the ARF troopers.
Just to give him more stuff.
Yeah, just 1 pin basically going through.
Yeah, so when they come back, well, they're going to be removed anyway. So he scores 2.
Yeah, scores 2. Should get a momentum. I think the momentum has been added, but there's just a bit of a dice tray issue. Oh no, should have a momentum for the wound there. Sometimes they stack up on top of each other and don't display properly. But yeah, should just be 2 points there, and then we might even do a move action. I think the first sort of maneuvering action there that happened was the assault tactics maneuver. So that was a force for a move, and now we're doing an actual advance action. So
2 bodies on that one. Kenobi and Stormtrooper, and down here it's got Stormtrooper.
Yeah, and both of these are wounded as well for the red player, for Unlucky Gamer, so that's firmly in the grasp.
Nothing here can help him. I don't see. Which one is it?
It's going to be the fifth brother and Stormtrooper one, yeah. So look, Rex, probably not the one that you wanted. I mean, you might be able to move Mace down there, but he's not going to be able to get on the actual point. And he's actually pinned as well because he didn't get rid of those 3 hunker tokens. So that's where the hunker tokens are coming back to bite him. I think that was the perfect chance to basically clear all of the damage off of Rex, but unfortunately he's still pinned.
I've forgotten. I don't. No draw would have helped him here. A Mace. What is that? What does Mace do? Hit the Stormtrooper or Kenobi? Either one. It's not going to get a point back. Mace would get something to move, but even that's pointless. I don't know. Yeah, a bit
up against the wall.
Very much up against the wall. Nothing can help him here. I think.
The only thing that's going to help Unlucky Gamer at this stage is probably some clutch priority rolls. So if you consistently roll onto an objective that Unlucky Gamer has already and can reinforce, and maybe combined with some bad deck order draw, then we'll be good to go.
Yeah, during the ARF, put on the ARF Shatterpoint was a bad play. That's cost the game more than anything. I think was that last, the last activation of the first struggle.
Yeah, I think that was a rough one.
Yeah, so Rex, he forgot the pin, I think.
No, he didn't. So he used the Rex's ability on himself to clear the pin and gain a hunker, and then he's done a defensive maneuver and a climb.
Okay, so right, and now he's going to try to kill. There's nothing he can kill here. Kenobi can just say no anyway.
Exactly. Or I don't know if Kenobi's in range 3 of this one. He is in range 3, of course, of this one, but this
Yeah,
Stormtrooper. But yeah, there's every chance that we do get the wound on the Stormtrooper unit. You'd have to get pretty lucky, though. You have to get the full tree on Rex, because he maxes out at 7 damage, so we'll see.
so
I can hear dice being rolled.
he just spent 2 force. That was to expose, I think, or
Ooh,
3 force.
okay.
He spent 3 force. No, 1 force for the yeah. He spent 2 force for the expose.
Yeah, only going to
So
get 2
whoever
successes
shooting,
through there, unfortunately.
it's another bad roll.
Yeah, 3 fails on 7 dice isn't terribly. Like, I mean, that's sort of
Yeah,
relatively on average,
isn't that
but
bad?
yeah, it's been, I guess, exacerbated by some other pretty bad rolls.
Well, that's it. Where's the priority? He needs it. Well, it's on his point. It is falling his way. So, and he drew Kenobi, so he's
Yeah.
going to put him in the bank here. He's
And
getting
so
his
just to
Vader.
answer your question, Glyn93, so Rex can gain the hunker if he does the get a move on soldier dash. He just can't get a hunker if he does the defensive maneuver and, you know, something funky happens. Like if he's pinned and he uses defensive maneuver, then he can't gain the hunker. But from get a move on soldier, he can. So I think Rex should actually have a second hunker token there.
I think it's game here. He's just drawn Shatterpoint. Vader's going to go kill the clones, and that wins. If he kills them, that gives him 4 and a momentum. So
Yeah, brutal.
um, you'd think he'd kill him. What is he?
You'd think so.
11 dice again. 11 dice versus 4. He needs to roll extraordinary.
3 blocks
And
is
he's got
pretty
3
good.
blocks.
Ooh,
Ooh,
but
6
4 crits
misses.
is still going to get it.
Is it
Yeah.
4 crits? Is 1
1 expertise is 2 crits for the old Vader, so that's going to do it.
I mean,
GG. Short and sweet.
card.